Ich habe tolle Gäste hier. Larry Taylor ist hier von Canned Heat, Skip Taylor, der Manager nicht nur von Canned Heat, sondern von den Doors und von vielen anderen auch noch mehr. Die könnte man jetzt gar nicht alle aufzählen. Und sie haben lustige Sachen auch zu erzählen. Es ist auch sehr, sehr interessant, was sie hier so nebenbei so ein bisschen erzählen. Larry kam gerade zu mir und hat mir ein bisschen was erzählt über die Aufnahmen damals. So, Larry, let's talk about Eddie Kramer and what he did there. He recorded the whole festival and there were some problems, I think.
Well, there was one Canned Heat track called I'm Her Man that they had actually the bass mic turned off. So I was playing a club about 2 years ago in L.A., a little small club, a little rockabilly type, bluesy type band with string bass, big bass.
Yeah.
So I'm playing, and the guy comes to me after the set, and he goes, hey, I'm from Warner Brothers, and I want to, you to put this bass part because we're missing a bass part, and they're putting out a 40-year anniversary, blah, 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 all this stuff. So I said, okay. So I go to Warner Brothers, and I go in, and they show me all this footage of all these bands. They showed the Santana. They showed the Santana before, the Santana after they fixed it. They showed the Janis before and after. They flew in a vocal. What they do, they fly in, another vocal from another performance into the vocal of the not so good performance. And then I went in and I put my bass, and then I made it, a date to go in and put the bass part on I'm Her Man. And that's on the new DVD.
Okay.
Never issued.
Also er hat mir gerade erzählt, es war so, dass sie zwischenzeitlich das Bassmikrofon abgedreht hatten und dann dadurch diese Spur ja komplett gefehlt hatte. Und dann hat er in einem Club in Los Angeles gespielt, in einem kleinen Club, und dann kam auf einmal jemand von Warner Music und er hat zu ihm gesagt, hey, kannst du mal mitkommen, wir haben ein Problem, uns fehlt bei der Woodstock-Aufnahme deine Bassspur, kannst du die nochmal einspielen? Er ist da mitgegangen und hat sich alles angeguckt, was damals eben aufgenommen wurde, und war schon ein bisschen schockiert, was teilweise da bei diesen Aufnahmen passiert ist, was da nicht so ganz gut war. You said things were not so good. Was it really because of the drugs, or why did some performances were not so good? I use this term.
Drugs. You said it. Not me.
And travel and just getting there. There were lots of circumstances to get anybody there, and the conditions were bad, and at that time, even as big as the PA was, the front of house PA, it still couldn't capture the voices and keep up with the size of a lot of the amplifiers and the amount of music the amplifiers were putting out. And that's why I have a guy, Fito de la Parra, still to this day says, I'm beating the drums as hard as I can, and I couldn't keep up with the guitar sound and the bass sound that was coming off the stage, So, but today it's a little bit different, and hopefully tomorrow night it will be wonderful at the Capitol.
Also er sagt, es waren viele Umstände eben, dass man teilweise sich auch nicht so richtig einstellen konnte auf das Konzert, dass man gereist war und natürlich, dass eben viele Leute auf Drogen waren, aber er weist nochmal darauf hin, morgen Abend in Mannheim im Kapitol, da spielen Canned Heat und da wird natürlich alles wesentlich besser sein. Und was there anyone who was not on drugs?
Myself.
Yeah, Larry wasn't.
Really?
Larry wasn't.
No.
Okay.
No drugs.
And someone else?
I think he was the only one. No,
no.
I'm kidding. I'm
sure there were other people, but there was a lot of people on drugs, but I happened to not be on drugs at that particular time. I had already
almost no time.
Well, no time, but I actually kind of went through an era of that earlier on in the early 60s.
Okay.
Playing music with other routines and other things.
There were a lot of things that happened for the organization while the festival had started, and there were doctors that were flew in, I think, with a helicopter, and many other people who helped them. Did you get something, or did you realize that what happened in front of the stage and behind the stage, or did you just concentrate yourselves on your gig?
It really, the only way it affected us was having to wait 4 or 5 hours at the airport, the little airport, for all of those doctors and nurses to be flown in. That's, once we were there, that wasn't part of our world. We didn't see it backstage, really, and we didn't see it in front of the stage. I mean, when you see that many people, that was not any effect on us at all.
Didn't really notice much on, having to do with that at all.
And was there really a frontier, I called it a frontier, between backstage and the normal people, or did everybody was going into the
No, there was a huge fence between the people and the backstage. The backstage was really a backstage area, and they just had some food there, and it was very, very simple compared to some of the festivals that happen today. I mean, we played a festival in San Francisco 2 years ago for the Summer of Love. There were 1,500 people backstage that were all, everyone knew each other. They all should have had signs because we all knew each other from 30 years ago, but that were involved with the Avalon Ballroom or the Fillmore or Chet Helms. It was celebration of Chet Helms, the guy from the Avalon that had the Avalon Ballroom. And they had food tents and wine tasting and people with doing interviews and photographers, and it was quite a scene unto itself. There were 100,000 people in front, but there were 1,500 backstage at that one. Whereas at Woodstock, there might have been 50 people backstage. That was it.
There really wasn't a backstage. Really,
it was just a couple of tents.
It was just just like kind of partitioned off, and there wasn't really a lot going on.
Yeah, there wasn't
just
much
the bands, pretty much.
Some food and a tent to tune up.
Yeah,
and one tent for food.
It wasn't like a lot of action. And there wasn't a lot going on like now. It's festivals today, like he's saying.
Also er sagt, es war schon deutlich abgegrenzt, eben dieser Backstage-Bereich, aber man kann ihn sich nicht so vorstellen, wie das eben heutzutage ist bei solchen Festivals, hat er gerade gesagt. Also gibt es welche, wo 1,500 Leute irgendwie Backstage sind und es gibt was Tolles zu essen und was Tolles zu trinken und so, und das war damals nicht. Da gab es einfach ein paar Zelte, es gab ein bisschen was zu futtern und das war es dann auch schon, und das hat sich doch im Laufe der Zeit dann doch ein bisschen gewandelt. So, you'd like to hear Santana, right?
Okay.
Or someone else.
Santana would be fine.
Santana, okay. So Soul Sacrifice was a special song. Many people told me about Woodstock. Do you know why? Why Soul Sacrifice?
Don't know.
Don't really know.
I mean, Carlos is always good to hear. I mean, he's had a resurgence more than any other Woodstock band. When he hooked up again with Clive Davis and Clive Davis's new label. And Clive put Rob Thomas with him. All of a sudden, he sells 20 million albums.
Talking about the guy from that band?
From Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Santana's the biggest artist from Woodstock. Right?
And Joe Cocker, maybe.
Not even close. Not close.
Yeah? Okay, also er hat gesagt, Santana würde er ganz gerne hören. Er kann sich nicht so ganz erklären, warum jetzt dieser Song eigentlich so erfolgreich wurde oder auch von vielen als eine der besten Performances überhaupt bezeichnet wurde, aber er findet es selbst auch gut. Also ich meine, und wir hören es uns einfach mal an. Ist jetzt mal ein 8-Minuten-Track, Santana Soul Sacrifice.